happened this week. So everybody saw, you know, the Joseline and Wendy Williams debacle. And I felt like, okay, yes, Wendy, sometimes she could get a little sassy. But also, like, all right, so if you haven't watched the clip, basically what happened in the clip was, I guess, like, Joseline came in there ready to on her rah-rah-rah. And what basically happened, Joseline was promoting her show, Joseline's Cabaret. And she said that her show was the number one show in the country. So then Wendy Williams was like, it's not the number one show in the country, it's the number one show on Zeus. And let's be honest, your show is not the number one show in the country. So how you gonna get mad at Wendy Williams? And maybe Wendy Williams just likes to spread truthful information, because people don't like spreading false, you know, information on their platform sometimes. Like, I try to be like that. I can only try, but some people really don't like promoting false information on their platform. Maybe that's what Wendy was doing. I don't know if she was being shady or she just didn't want to promote false information on her platform. But after that, Joseline was like, no, my show's the number one country, per. And that's what's killing me is like, it's real funny for you to be so confident in yourself and just be like, no, like I said, my show was the number one show in the country. Like, I think that's mad funny, but Wendy was like, no, honey, it's not. And then she was like, I don't like how, you know, you bring black women, young black women on your show, and you always disrespect them. Like, give us our flowers while we're here. And I'm like, okay, sometimes Wendy do be like, coming for like, I feel like she come for any guest on her show, though. Like, if she has to or if she wants to, she would, whether they black or white. I really do feel like that. But then Wendy Williams threw flowers at her. I thought that shit was funny. Like, and you gotta think, like, she thought that shit on the spot. Like, you want your flowers? Here, take your flowers. And I also don't like, too, like, that's all y'all thing. Like, every time y'all get mad at Wendy, y'all want to say that's why your nigga cheated on you and your nigga be cheating on you constantly. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, that's y'all thing now? That's going to be our new line? Wasn't you battling with drugs? Wasn't your nigga just cheating on you? Like, y'all, like, that shit is traumatic, and y'all just be bringing that shit up. But I guess, you know, Wendy, you know, she got to be built for that type of stuff. But I felt like somebody made a good point too. Like, one of the Twitter comments I saw was like, "What? Nobody brings Joseline on their show. Like, Wendy Williams' talk show is a big talk show. You know what I'm saying? And Wendy Williams brings Joseline on there. You would rarely see Joseline. You think they would bring Joseline on the Ellen Show, on Jimmy Fallon, on I don't fucking know. What's these top shows? The View, bitch. Like, maybe even The Talk, they wouldn't bring her ass up there. They probably bring her on The Real, and maybe even still, they might not even bring her ass up there. So, a lot of people, would they even, The Breakfast Club be taking people, The Breakfast Club be taking anybody sometimes these days, but some of these shows, like, don't even give some of these women a platform that, give them the platform to even speak or promote their shit. Like Wendy. Like, you gonna see Joseline on smaller radio stations, smaller platforms, bitch. Joseline probably come on Britt Says, bitch. Like, Wendy really giving you the platform. So, either way you feel like she disrespected you, she still gave you her platform. And Wendy don't have to do that. Because Wendy's show is, I don't think it's at its peak right now. I think it definitely fell off with everything that went on. But it's still a big platform. It is. And it's a broad platform. And it touches a lot of different demographics, I should say. Like, people from different countries, you know, white, black, Asian, Indian, all that. So, you go on her show, you can expose yourself to a broader audience. And Wendy Williams, they be bringing mediocre people on her big-ass platform sometimes. And I would consider Joseline mediocre. I said what I said, like, respectfully, like, and so for her to say you do this for certain, like, even a lot of people she brought on the show, you never, would you put Joseline on Fox or some shit? Like, come on, stop with this shit. Like, so I just felt like Joseline had a point, Wendy Williams had a point, but ultimately Joseline was doing too much. I didn't feel like all Wendy said was your show is not the number one show in the country, and it's not. So, I don't know. Like, that's just that on that. Like, that's just how I felt, you know, watching it. I was just like, but it's not, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, your shit is not number one in the country. And that was just my opinion on that situation. You just finished watching a clip from a podcast called Britt Says, the podcast. BRITTSAYS. If you want to watch that full episode, you can click right up here. And if you want to stream and listen to Britt Says, the podcast, it is available on all DSPs such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Deezer, iHeartRadio, anything you can imagine, you'll find Britt Says, the podcast. So go ahead out, listen, leave a review, and 5 stars. And while you're here, subscribe to my channel.